Welcome back to the Clarity Chronicles podcast. Today, we're diving into why breakups often feel like unfinished stories. Have you ever wondered if the reason your ex gave was the real story, or if something deeper was left unsaid?
Absolutely, and it's a feeling many can relate to. Much like reading a novel with the last chapter ripped out, we're left guessing about what truly happened. That's where the concept of closure comes in, a chance to tie up emotional loose ends.
That analogy really resonates. Before we get into solutions, let's highlight how lacking closure can impact us emotionally and mentally, sometimes for years after a breakup.
Exactly. Research from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships indicates that unresolved breakups are linked to higher rates of anxiety and ruminative thoughts, often affecting future relationships and self-esteem.
Let's transition to a game-changing concept, relationship exit interviews. It sounds unconventional, but can you walk us through what exactly this entails?
Certainly. Think of it like an exit interview at work, but for relationships. Both partners sit down to discuss what worked, what didn't, and the reasons behind the breakup, offering clarity rather than speculation.
So instead of leaving things unsaid, both parties have a structured forum to share perspectives. That seems like it could transform the healing process.
Absolutely. It turns a potentially messy ending into a constructive dialogue, helping both individuals move forward with insights rather than unresolved questions.
You mentioned the workplace analogy. Can you elaborate on how relationship exit interviews are similar to or different from traditional job exit interviews?
Of course. In both scenarios, the departing party provides feedback on their experience. While workplace interviews focus on improving organizational culture, relationship exit interviews aim to foster personal growth and emotional clarity.
That's insightful. Are there any risks of carrying over corporate jargon or expectations into such a personal setting?
Great question. The key is adapting the structure for emotional safety keeping, the focus on honest sharing rather than blame, and ensuring a more empathetic tone compared to a business setting.
Let's delve deeper into closure itself. Why do humans crave it so much after a breakup?
Psychologically, closure acts as a cognitive endpoint. Without it, our brains keep searching for answers, much like a computer running an unsolvable equation. This can drain emotional energy and hinder moving on.
That's a powerful metaphor. Are there studies that support this need for closure?
Yes, a 2016 study in Psychological Science found that people who achieved closure after a breakup experienced faster emotional recovery and were less likely to repeat negative relationship patterns.
Building on that, how does a structured exit interview specifically facilitate emotional healing compared to just having a casual chat or venting session?
Structure provides a safe container for vulnerability. Having set questions and mutual guidelines prevents conversations from spiraling into blame, allowing both parties to express feelings and grievances productively.
So it's like having traffic rules for a difficult conversation, reducing the risk of emotional collisions.
Exactly. This approach helps both individuals process emotions, leading to a sense of resolution and readiness to move forward.
Let's discuss personal growth. How can exit interviews help individuals gain insight and improve future relationships?
During these interviews, participants often identify recurring patterns like communication breakdowns or unmet needs. Recognizing these allows for conscious change, turning painful endings into learning experiences.
Are there examples where this process led to significant positive change?
Definitely. For instance, after an exit interview, someone might realize they avoid conflict, leading them to develop stronger boundaries and communication skills in the future.
Communication is often cited as the bedrock of relationships. How do exit interviews teach or reinforce effective communication and conflict resolution skills?
They serve as real-time practice. By articulating feelings and listening without interruption, participants hone active listening and assertiveness skills directly transferable to new relationships.
Would you say this can even help with non-romantic relationships, like friendships or family ties?
Absolutely. The principles of honest dialogue and mutual respect are universal, making exit interviews a valuable tool for all types of relational endings.
Let's get practical. What are the key steps someone should take to initiate and conduct a successful relationship exit interview?
First, both parties must willingly agree to participate. Next, set a neutral, private space and establish ground rules like no interrupting or personal attacks. Prepare open-ended questions to guide the discussion.
That sounds manageable. Could you suggest a few starter questions for listeners interested in trying this?
Sure. Questions like, what did you value most about our relationship? Or, were there unmet needs or recurring conflicts? Can open the door to meaningful insights.
Of course, not every situation is safe or appropriate for such a conversation. What ethical considerations should people keep in mind before attempting an exit interview?
Emotional safety is paramount. If there's any history of abuse or coercion, it's best to avoid this approach. Also, respect boundaries. Either party can opt out at any time, and confidentiality must be maintained.
So, empathy and consent are non-negotiable. It's about mutual understanding, not reopening old wounds.
Exactly. Ethical practice ensures that the process supports healing rather than causing additional harm.
As we wrap up, let's reflect on the bigger picture. How can embracing relationship exit interviews reshape our cultural approach to endings and new beginnings?
When normalized, these interviews can foster a culture of emotional literacy, reducing stigma around breakups. This shifts endings from sources of shame to opportunities for growth, echoing the adage every ending is a new beginning.
That's a hopeful note to end on. For listeners ready to turn the page, this approach may offer the clarity they've been seeking.
Absolutely. By embracing openness and reflection, we empower ourselves to move forward with wisdom and confidence, building healthier connections in the future.